Why, hello there. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Paul trying to get a dive into some compositing using a desktop Photoshop and iPad as well. Just had some new features released in the iPad version that I want to tackle. So feel free to say hello. Would love to give you a shout out, see how you're doing. Let me know where you're currently viewing from. That would be great. And I'm going to dive right into this. So, yeah, let me actually start right over here with my iPad. Try not to disconnect it as I move it over. But let's dive into this. And again, here we go. Just tackling this image that I'm kind of... We can see a number of these syncing. And I just have a couple images in here. And I'm going to start with this one that's opening up right now. All right, cool. Bonnie, what's up? Cool background. Thank you so much. I'm into the bright colors. So, Sarah, good to see you here from Lancashire, UK. Cool. New Zealand's in the house. Steve, what's up? Detroit is here as well. Cool. UK as well. Awesome. Awesome. Hello, Jonathan from Raleigh. I like Raleigh. Raleigh's a cool place. So this is kind of what I'm dealing with. Just kind of have this image, which isn't bad, by the way, right? So to have this open up on my iPad, I have a number of layers off to the side. I'm going to do a long press right here on this plus button. And you can see that I can add an adjustment layer. So do a long press to add an adjustment layer. And this is what is new here. Is curves. So you can see curves is now available on the iPad. So selecting that, as you can see right in here, and I'll just kind of move this over. I can just kind of take that down like so. I actually get much more color over here, but I lose a little bit of detail. It gets a little dark on the other side. So that's kind of what I need to work on. What's up? Hey, what's up, Terry? Afroja, good to see you here as well. Johannesburg region. So again, I could use curves to kind of tweak this up a little bit, kind of bring some of those brights back. It's going to wash it out some, but I could always use curves a number of ways, right? I can start to tweak the blues as well, like increase the, the intensity of that blue and all that good stuff. But really what I want to do is I want to actually open up this layers panel, and on this curves layer, it has a layer mask. So I could come in here and just kind of remove some of that darkness that happened right down there. I'm just kind of removing some using Apple Pencil, by the way. And I'm just going to actually get rid of a little bit of the fall off. So basically the giving it a little bit harder edge, right? Let's paint over here. Don't want to forget that spot. And again, I'm kind of doing like basically a dodge and burn, roughly. So, Joe Berg in the house. Man, it's been forever since I've been a Joe Berg, man. Want to go again. So, let's flip that over. I kind of got off a little bit. Something new on the iPad, by the way, is you can control the sensitivity of Apple Pencil now for Photoshop on iPad, right? So that's all I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. Let's drop this guy in there, right? So long press right here. Let's do a select subject. And in this case, I'm going to use the lasso tool and just kind of drag around this hiker. That's the idea. Dragging around the hiker. Oops, let's undo that. Quickly dragging around this hiker because I want to include this hiker in this case. And I'm going to have some fun with this as well because I want to like throw an octopus or a squid or something in there awesome because he's supposed to be like looking out and seeing something magnificent is the idea. Look at that. That actually did a really good job. I could always kind of come in here. I need to clean this up a little bit. Thomas Benner. What's up, Thomas? From Austin, Texas. Are you back in Austin, Thomas? So right in here, I find Apple Pencil makes selecting really easy as I kind of jump in like so. And I did title this new features because these are new features right in here. There's also select subject, just so you know. You get the idea. Cool. Alrighty, got that all squared away. Some other little spots that I missed. Oh, excuse me. Select that right there. There we have it. Let's mask him out. Boom, there he is. Shrink him down like so. Put him, and again, I don't really advise you doing this, but we're going to put him right on the edge there. And he's going to be looking at something amazing out there as well. Okay, done. He is awfully orange, right? Alonzo, you're hilarious. Yes. Funny, funny, funny. Nigeria is here. Good to see you. Cyprus in the house. Awesome. Larissa. All right, so for this layer to make it match even more, because obviously that background, it's very blue environment. It's not like he's there during sunset, right? That's how the original image was. Hello, Adrian from Argentina as well. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and add a clipped adjustment layer. You can see that right down there. Again, I can add curves in here as well. I can select red and I can pull out those reds. I'm taking those reds down, right? Just kind of knocking them off. And that actually looks, I think that looks pretty good, right? Nice thing is I could always tweak this later on. In fact, overall, I'm going to make it a little bit brighter, kind of like that. So that's all I'm kind of really doing at this point. That looks fine. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I want to add some more elements as well. Let's just do this really fast. Why not? Select subject. Got this lovely octopus. Mask it out. Boom. Bring this octopus. And I actually need to bring this octopus. He's going to be larger, right? Mixed with the background. Let's undo that last move. I want to give him longer arms, so there's a lot of things going on here that I would like to add, okay? Let's drag that octopus down, right? For the scenic overlook, I'm going to do the same thing, duplicate this layer, boom. And for this layer, I'm going to go ahead and select, actually not a regular selection, I'm going to do the select subject again, select subject tool that is, and I can roughly just kind of grab those rocks because I want these rocks to be on top, right? So right up here. And let's just turn that off for now. So basically he's going to be behind like so. So now I can have him kind of behind the rocks. Cool. What's up? Germany is in the house. Okay, Gaetano, what's up? What's going on, everybody? So everybody having a nice Monday? Hopefully this day is treating you well. You guys are staying safe and healthy. Hopefully hopefully getting some exercise, right? Just adding that in there. I have actually a couple more images right in here. I really like this one as well. Look at that. That's awesome. We really use this one as well. In fact, for this one has a different background. Let's turn off that previous one. And for this layer, we're going to go ahead and do a select subject. And it looks like it did a pretty good job there as well. So let's mask it out. Let's take this, let's flip it. Let's put that over there like so, right? And there's a lot of color correction that needs to happen to really get this to look right, okay? That could be more along the lines of what I'm looking for. It's a little weird, I agree. I'm actually going to use some other tools as well. Let's just deselect right there. A couple different things I could do also with this one, add a clipped adjustment layer. I might work on the color balance and push that more into the cyans and away from the reds slightly, okay? That seems to do the trick. And again, my goal is to have this. I don't even know if I want to use this octopus, to be honest with you. I might want to use a different one, right? But I'm just playing with a couple different ideas out here. I like the idea of having an octopus like being pretty far out there, being pretty large, and having its tentacles wrap around these rocks. So that's the plan. Yeah. Cool, Mitzi. Awesome. Just reading. Raining cold in Toronto. Oh, man. I like Toronto. So this is okay. This actually gives us a good start. There's more I want to do, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and close this file. I have a couple other images that I can work with. There's that one, has a little bit of blurriness. I have this one that might work as well. Okay, it has lots of colors in it, but we're losing some of the tentacles. But ultimately, I'm just going to go ahead and click that home button. It's actually going to sync, and it's just called Scenic, right? Weird is always good. Well, that's good to hear. I just kind of want this awesome, surrealistic, like, octopus just kind of coming in from another world and kind of wrapping its arms around the cliff there where that guy is. Okay. So the cool thing is, actually, I'm going to switch over to my desktop right here, and I can kind of continue this file, because actually I might want to use, I might try Pixel Squid as well. So that's what I might work on right down here. There's my file I was just working on, right? Clicking, there it is, loading it up. Easy, cool. Here's all my layers, everything looks fine. So again, it's gonna take a combination of images, and I want this squid right here, or squid, sorry, octopus. I was also thinking about using a squid, which is why I say that. Trust me, I know the difference. I just learned today, just kidding. But there we have that one as well. So I might take a combination of these. For this one, same thing. I might actually just jump that layer, color balance, clip it, and go into the properties. This one, again, just kind of playing, taking out those reds because it was awfully bright, and taking down more into the cyan, right? Same thing I could do with magenta, obviously the yellow, right? So I'll typically kind of tweak things this way and add some more layers. So hue and saturation right there, let's clip that like so. Take that saturation down, right? That's pretty intense. We have a lot of shadow right in here, right? That gets a little intense. It's a little too much. So let's kind of try a couple different things as well. Right in here, Pixel Squid, if you don't know, I will use them if I feel like I can't find the right image. So Pixel Squid will allow you to search for octopus, for instance. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a ping image that you can rotate, which sounds crazy. Technically, it's a 3D model that has been rendered with all these different views. Okay. Right in here, oh yeah, we have these two. Again, I was working on this earlier, but check this out. I can take any one of these and sync them or add them to my Lightbox, Photoshop Lightbox, like so. Okay, ooh, I love these tentacles. This is what I'm talking about, having these cool tentacles that can kind of wrap around. So adding that to my Lightbox, adding this one, right? You'll see the Lightbox in a second. There's a large view. But right over here, there is a desktop plugin, and you can see those different tentacles that have been added. So let's kind of turn off that octopus, and let's just drop in, I don't know, this one. Add it like so. That's right. Watching from Manila. Good to have you here. So look at how this comes in, right? You get this 3D model, and you could start to rotate it around, right? So I'm rotating it. We could see it change, right? So I can try out a couple different angles to make this look as epic as possible, right? I think it should have like more of an above angle, so that's what I'm going for. I'm going to turn on high resolution. Wait for it. There's the gorgeous high resolution. It's still really red. And I turned off the shadows as well, so you could always have those on. But ultimately, that's what I want. I can open this object as a PSD, but it's already right here as a smart object right down here. That's right, Steve. You got it. Oh, there actually is the shadow there. Turn off the shadow like so. Okay. All right. And let's take this, let's rotate it. We can have as much fun as we want. We can make this larger like that, right? Definitely change the color. Oh, Larissa, I'm glad you like it. So again, really playing with that color. So I could still use those same adjustment layers, right? Down here, you know, I'll just Command J to jump them, Control J if you're on a PC. Kind of take some of that color away. That's looking better. We are going to, this is also what I will sometimes do. Check this out. I will actually add a layer. I will sample from the background and just kind of start painting, right? So I have this blue or I have this lighter blue, right? This is kind of the color that I want. So I can actually clip it to that octopus and then I can go through different blend modes. I notice like soft light and overlay starts to give it this atmospheric look. So again, that just starts to take those dark areas and fills them in with that blue. But this gives me the sort of control that I want, because I might want to paint a little bit right here, keep the tone, right, roughly of that atmosphere in some places, but maybe not in others, right? So that's where I'd come in and I'd probably erase or use a layer mask. Hopefully that makes sense. Thanks for joining me this fine Monday. I'm going to take down the flow, typically 30, right? We can add a little bit of depth right in there. I don't know. Still working on it. Still needs to be much bigger as well. Still needs to have some tentacles kind of coming out at you, right? So that's what I want to work on. B for brush, paint a little bit more. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill this whole thing with a gradient. Like so. There we go. All right. That's so far that looks okay. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. Let's get some of those tentacles kind of wrapping around. I'll go back to Pixel Squid right over here. We can see. We can add a couple more tentacles, shall we? In fact, there was another cool one that I saw out here. Let's go back. This one right here. Zoop. There it is. Let's add that to our light box. There we go. Let's have some fun today, huh? Shall we? Let's add another tentacle. You're working as a VA for a company visual artist for a company in Chicago while watching. Awesome. Very cool. Sounds like you have an awesome job. Sounds very cool. All right, here's our big tentacle, right? Look at this. Love this. Let's wait for it to rotate around. We'll tilt it like so. Crank up the resolution to high. And again, this is what we do. As you know, as like a visual designer, we kind of just start playing with these different options. So again, Pixel Squid allows you to search and find models. And instead of you having to learn 3D, you can go ahead and basically take a snapshot of this octopus at any angle that you want. All right, so right over here, this is the situation that I'm having. It's like, oh, I did all this stuff to make this squid look right. Okay, now I want to make, I hate that ding. I actually want to apply it to this layer, okay? But I don't want to have to duplicate everything. I could take both of these, Command G, put them in a fancy little group, okay? And for these adjustment layers and color layers, all that fun stuff, I can go ahead and make a clipping mask like so. Now, when I zoom out, pop, there it is. See? Isn't that nice? Now they're both tinted that same color, and I can start to play with this some more. T, move it around. Add some more. Calamari for lunch. Man, I'm into calamari. I like calamari. Let's take this one as well. Rotate it. And again, I don't know if my original intention is really to get into Pixel Squid this much, but I honestly am just trying to use the best tool for the job. I think in this case, this is really cool. Like this part, I could have this kind of come out and wrap around his leg. Okay. So what I could do is I could turn on high resolution. Shadows are off. I'll just duplicate that layer really fast. And right in here, we could rasterize that layer. I think that's just going to make things easier. Maybe I didn't have to be honest with you. No, I really didn't have to. All right, so I'm not going to rasterize it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Puppet Warp. And what I can do now is I can start to add some pins in here to have this kind of come around and like wrap around his leg. Okay, so go zoop, like that, bring that in like that, right? Have that go back a little further. And if you change this to distort, the mode to distort, it'll start to distort. So if I pull it back, it's actually going back in space and seems to kind of mimic the what I'm going for. All right. This part, if I pull it out, it'll get bigger, like that. There we go. Just using a little Puppet Warp. We'll attach it maybe to this arm right up here. Okay. Connect it like so. Okay, mode, a layer mask. Let's get rid of those other, taking a lot of this stuff. All right, how is everybody doing? Luz, how are you? So, take our hiker, we'll just move the hiker over a little bit. Like that. This hiker should be a lot more freaked out. But he's not. Oh, this is going to get tricky right in here. There we go. Need to add a little bit more shading in there, but you get the idea. Okay? So far, so good, Afrosia. Good to see you. Issa, good to see you. Hello. Welcome. Again, not bad. For the time I've spent streaming so far. I'd probably, so this background, by the way, is a little bit blurry, and it helps to like fake some of these, some of this like depth of field, basically. So probably what I will end up doing is blurring this octopus in the sky a little bit. So anyway, let's go back down here. See what else we have going on. This is another great one. I'll add this one like so. Put it in that same folder. It gets treated the same way. Turning off the shadows. Making it high res. Rotating it into place like that. Actually, maybe like that. I think I had it right the first time. There we go. Something like that looks better. How is this looking? Is everybody happy with it so far? So yeah, Inam, this is being recorded and you can watch it at any point. You should be able to scrub back, just so you know. All right, so new tentacle kind of coming out this way. I'll use Puppet Warp again, right over here. Just adding those pins, stretching it out. Maybe doing a little bit of distortion, like that. Command H will just kind of hide those, the grid that you get. Making it a little bit easier to see. To also really sell this depth, I would love to have a shadow of the tentacle on the rock. So I might use an even bigger one. Let's actually move this up. Let's take this. Oh yeah, I do not have that shortcut key squared away yet. Bring it out, make it larger. Make it look a little crazy. This guy should be much more scared. Unless he's like the octopus whisperer or something like that. He needs to be way more scared. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up soon. I don't want to monopolize your whole day. But this is just gonna take a little bit more work. You know what really helps is there's this navigator pane. If you ever have a chance to, if you have a second monitor, because when you zoom out, it kind of puts everything in perspective, right? Yeah, I don't know, it's all right. Okay, last thing I will do, again, this was just a quick composite using some of the latest features. I'm going to, this has, right? Because I'm not gonna worry about too much of this. I could use two-strip look and just kind of go through each one of my favorites. So I'll hold on to that one, but I'll go through a couple more of these. You can see already, look at the difference this makes. Look at that. Huge difference. Almost makes it look a little bit more surreal. Well, it's Chris Winner's a little intense. If you get into some of these like film stocks down here, it's going to be maybe a little bit more soft than what you'd see in a movie. But that's what this is. Kind of making it look like a movie. That one's not bad. I think the ones that really I still need to work on some of these edges, right? Because they're too crisp. This whole octopus is way too crisp considering where it's at in the environment. So that's what I'll probably spend more time doing, by the way. Kind of paint and get rid of that kind of rough edge is all I would do. If I just soften that a little bit, see? It just kind of push. All right, everyone. Glad you guys like it. Another thing I would consider doing is going into the properties panel, since I was talking about new feature octopus, right? Right up here, pixel layer, remove background, probably to like Instagram. There you go, Steve, exactly. Monday, hopefully it finds you safe and well, and feel free to follow me on